Welcome back, Gov Nation, to Mic'd Up Govs. I'm Tabitha Strickland. This podcast is produced by the students of William Blount High School. Even though it's been a few months since our first episode, we're back and ready to talk about a lot of interesting topics. Here with us today are Gray Huntley, Donovan Gahagan, and my co-host Ariel Kirksey.
Hey you guys, we're recording this episode in mid-September, so by now we've all gotten a feel for the 2025-26 school year. What's it been like for you guys so far?
My school year has been great so far. I got all the classes I wanted. I have like all A's and 1B. And during home games, I most likely will be there just recording the game. And as someone that doesn't really like sports, it is very fun to be there and involved with the game.
It's been really good for me. I've had AV production and greenhouse management for my classes, which are very easy and very fun.
Well, we're all seniors here, so we've seen a bunch of different changes during our time here at William Blount. Ariel, what's new this year?
William Blount has introduced several policy changes. As of July 1st, 2025, Senate Bill 0897 requires local boards of education and public charter school governing bodies to adopt a policy to prohibit students from using wireless communication devices during instructional time, except in certain circumstances. This new law has mixed opinions amongst the school. What do you all think about it?
Meh. I don't really like it because if I have nothing to do, what else I'm done with all my work. I have nothing to do on my Chromebook. Am I just supposed to sit there in complete silence?
I think it was a good change. I do think people were abusing their phones too much in class, and it was affecting their grades pretty badly.
We do get to use our phones for a little over an hour during the school day. We can use it during our 7-minute class changes and during our 30-minute lunch, but I think students wish that we could use them during WIN time, which stands for What I Need, and it's our study hall period, basically.
Yeah. I do think one thing is I see a lot more people talking, especially in the halls, which I do not enjoy because they just clog up traffic.
And I imagine it'd be pretty nice from a teacher's perspective, seeing their students focus on the actual work in the class and being able to interact with their students more often. I imagine is very nice as a teacher.
Depends on the student.
Yes.
I think a lot of people wish that we could listen to music or use our AirPods and headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, who owns wired earbuds nowadays?
It's just another unnecessary purchase that.
Exactly.
Why go out and buy a whole new pair of headphones?
And you just have a good one in your pocket.
Yeah.
Besides, my experience with wired ones, they'll stop working after a time. One earbud will go out and another one will. Wireless, they don't. I don't know if they do it as often, but
in my experience, they haven't.
So let's move on to another change that affects how students leave the classroom for a variety of reasons. In the past, students would raise their hands and ask for permission to go to the bathroom, grab something out of the vending machine, or refill a water bottle. Now students must also use a new online program on their Chromebooks called SmartPass. This digital hall pass requires students to have their request to leave class approved in advance. This includes trips to the bathroom, the guidance counselor's office, and other teachers' classrooms. The student will leave his or her Chromebook facing the teacher while a countdown tracks their errand. The company aims to uphold safe and organized flow of movement throughout the school. However, many view SmartPass as unnecessary. What do you guys think?
I definitely think it's unnecessary. It is a very long process to actually boot up your computer and get the application working, especially when the internet's as awful as it is in the school.
Oh, yeah. Something I literally recently, before this, I thought about, what if, a bathroom on a certain floor got shut down or, because, something happened in there and they have to go to the other floor? It's probably going to take way longer than 5 minutes to do all that.
And the teacher probably just wouldn't let them go. Like in Emmert's, he's in the back gym, so all the bathrooms are so far away from him that he just doesn't let students out of his class.
Yeah, that's fair because I don't know. Is there a punishment for going over 5 minutes or just noted?
I don't think there's a punishment because I have gone over the time limit just because it takes so long to walk, and I really don't think 5 minutes is enough. But it makes your countdown turn red, but so far no one said anything to me about it.
I think you only really get in trouble if it's over a really long time. So 1 minute, I'm sure they don't care that much.
Okay.
This is good for administrators, though, to be able to track the students and where they're actually going.
Yeah, there's pros and there's also cons. I don't know. I think the cons kind of outweigh the pros because A, it takes too long. B, what if the internet's down, a bathroom on a certain floor is shut down or you're too far away?
I think that's for the general mass though, but they're really taking in consideration for like the really bad apple students who are trying to do bad stuff in the bathrooms, and so they're cracking down on that.
It is a hassle, though, but unfortunately, a lot of our rules that seem a little overbearing are just because kids can't handle themselves, and the worst students that we have that do the worst things, unfortunately, ruin it for everyone. But I do think it is good that teachers can see if students are like meeting up to do bad things in the bathroom, which used to happen a lot, or just skip class. But we thought it'd be a good idea to get an administrator's thoughts, so we sent Parker Sice out to talk to Principal Crabtree. Here's that conversation.
Mr. Crabtree, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your busy day to make an appearance on Mic'd Up Govs. We want to get your thoughts on the Smart Pass. Can you explain what Smart Pass is and how it is used?
Well, first off, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on the podcast. So Smart Pass is basically a digital hall pass system that we've transitioned to this year at William Blount High School. And essentially, there's a lot of factors that kind of go into using it. But if a student wants to leave class or an assigned area during any part of the day, they're able to access the Smart Pass through their Chromebooks or another digital device set up by a teacher to request to go to, for example, the bathroom or another teacher's class. It helps tracks where students are, when they leave, how long they're gone for, and as an administrator or a teacher, it provides like some real-time visibility of like where students are, if students are meeting up at particular times of the day, or helps us kind of track any trends and make sure we're maximizing like time in class and instructional time for our students, on top of supporting student safety and accountability.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from the teachers?
Well, for the teachers, I think pretty positive feedback on the most part, and I think the primary reason for that being there's not a lot of work on the teacher side in order to use the platform. Anything that's new, there's some initial like hesitation in starting it off and utilizing it, and so trying to figure out like exactly how it works, all the features that come along with it. I think there's some growing pains kind of with that. But overall, from the teacher side of things, I think it's gone really well because, one, it helps track students and it helps give teachers some autonomy and authority over their classrooms. And two, it's not a lot of work on their end.
And lastly, what would you say to the students that aren't necessarily crazy about the idea of Smart Pass?
I would say, one, I get it. I was a high school student here not that long ago. But I would say it's, and as a student, I probably wouldn't have been super crazy about it either. But anytime we're trying to change things, change is hard. No one really enjoys restrictions or limits being placed on them. But Smart Pass isn't really about control for the sake of control on the teacher side of things. It's about making sure like everyone's where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. And so, part of our school culture here that we're trying to get to at William Blount is centered around safety and respect and high expectations. And honestly, if you were where you needed to be when you were supposed to be there, Smart Pass doesn't really get in your way of that. So the more students can show that they can handle their freedom and their own autonomy and responsibility, the more like the school can put the trust in them moving forward. But again, it's a measure to ensure safety and security, but also trying to, on the teacher side of things, make sure kids are in class learning, which is kind of the primary goal here at high school.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Crabtree. Now back to the studio.
I'd like to go around the table and have each of you give one sentence that describes the purpose of our dress code. Ariel, ladies first. What do you think about it?
The WB dress code is in place to make sure students dress themselves in a modest manner and cover necessary parts of their body.
And I think that it's important that we note that Ms. Myers has been over the student handbook this year. And this year the student handbook is digital instead of a paper form like they have done in the past, which means there are pictures now online to show us what is and isn't in the dress code. That makes it pretty easy.
I understand that there's a dress code, but there's no, it's too excessive, and there's no freedom,
I
no
mean,
First Amendment.
Personally, the dress code has never really affected me, maybe because I'm a guy, but I've never really had any problems with it. So
I personally have been dress coded a few times,
Boo.
and it's mostly been because like either my shoulders are out or my shirt showed a little bit too much of my stomach. And I understand, but sometimes it does seem like the dress code is too strict, especially on female students.
I mean, the thing is that like, school is all about preparing you for the future, and they want to provide a professional environment. And in your future, when you go to work, you know, works have dress codes. Sometimes you have to wear uniforms, or, you know, they tell you all kinds of stuff that you can and can't wear.
Jeans.
So it's the same here. We also have to be careful. A lot of the dress code stuff is like logos and, you know, symbols and stuff that you can and can't wear.
No anarchy signs.
Yeah, the dress code mostly says like no shoulders, no stomach, pants must cover like from the knee up, and you can't have any like violent language or gang affiliated pictures.
It's mainly just about also keeping people safe and making sure they feel comfortable in a school.
I know a lot of students don't like that we can't wear hats. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, I get it. I would never want to cover up this great hair, though. Some of us have too great a hair to cover up. Right, Mr. Hudson?
Well, the dress code will always be one of those topics with a lot of disagreement. But now we get to move on to a topic we can all agree on. Who can tell me why our summer break was a couple of days shorter this year?
Thanksgiving. We got a full week now. For Thanksgiving.
What do y'all think about a full week of Thanksgiving break?
I think it's nice. You know, I think for all my school days, we've had only 3 days for Thanksgiving break. And I mean, I personally don't travel on Thanksgiving because all my family lives pretty close by, but I know some people that travel, and it's going to make their lives a whole lot easier on Thanksgiving break.
Yeah. Like, where do people travel, though? Like, do they travel, like, actual states?
I mean, I do.
Yes.
Over Thanksgiving, we visit my brother's family that lives in North Carolina, and that's one of my favorite parts is being able to see my niece in that side of the family.
That's nice.
I mean, it doesn't really change anything for me because I always just go the day of Thanksgiving. It's just a 2-hour drive to see my family.
Unfortunately, dual enrollment students might have classes, so it might not change too much for us, but at least we won't have to be at William Blount campus.
Yeah.
So let's go on a little side quest here. I'd like each of you to share something you love about celebrating Thanksgiving.
The food, of course.
I agree with Parker so much because I'm a piggy, but I also get to spend time with my family than I already do. But so it's a W.
I agree. I love spending time with my family, especially my niece, and just eating food too.
What are your guys' favorite dishes?
Ham.
I mean, I feel like Thanksgiving is obviously known for turkey, but in my opinion, turkey's an overrated dish, and ham is much better. Turkey's just, it's too dry. I mean, some people know how to cook it all right, but from my experience, most of the time it's dry. Maybe my family don't know how to cook. I don't know.
I want to deep fried turkey leg. I wonder if that'd be good.
My favorite Thanksgiving dish is mac and cheese. What about you, Tabby?
Mine is also mac and cheese. It's great.
I don't know if that's really a Thanksgiving dish, but
What cheese, though?
it's a dish.
What flavor mac and cheese?
Oh, you know.
Any cheese?
The ones with
Pepper jack
noodles.
cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I got you, twin.
All right, let's move on to our last topic. One of the biggest changes to our school was transitioning from 6A to 5A in football. As a cheerleader, I can tell you it's quite a bit different. What do you guys think about it?
We get to experience a different variety of bands for football events. And we get marching competitions, too.
I personally do not go to the football games, but, you know, from what I've seen, seems fun.
Our team's been doing really well this year, so I think it was for the better.
I agree. 6A, which is the biggest division, and the divisions are based off of the population of the schools. It was some really tough competition, especially playing against teams like Dobbins Bennett
Yeah.
and Westridge. But now, since our school population has gone down a little bit, we're in a smaller category, but that doesn't mean that the teams aren't as good. We are playing against like several teams that have won state championships.
Powell, Halls.
To name off the rest of the 5A teams, it's Halls, Campbell County, West, Knox Central, Powell, Carnes, and Clinton, along with William Blunt. Now, our basketball division is different from our football one, and I think it's going to be different from last year, and we will discuss that further in a future episode.
That's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks to everyone who participated, and we'll see you next time.